Welcome back to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Ian, with my co-host Ever. What it do, baby?
Hey, Ian, how you doing, man?
What's up, man? I'm good. I'm chilling. Huh.
Nice. We're a little bit chilly. It's like cold now.
Yeah. Well, it's been pretty cold and windy here in the Windy City. So, but speaking of Windy City, CM Punk has made his return to the WWE. Once again, he is back to WWE Backstage. Get it? Backstage because it was
Yeah,
actually a show.
yeah. Well, let's not say he's actually in WWE, but he was backstage.
That was good, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah, I thought about that on
was.
the fly too. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, CM Punk was backstage on Raw this past week. Was it this past week?
Yep. Yeah,
Man,
so this week,
a
a
lot
lot of
has
things in
happened.
Chicago. Yeah,
A lot
Chicago
has
has been a
happened.
busy
Yeah.
city this week, man.
Jeez. Yeah, CM Punk showed up. Apparently he showed up because wherever they were coming from, they were CM Punk. What did he do? I think he was in an MMA show or something like that. And
I
then
think,
he
yeah.
he was he was on his way back to Chicago, and whatever city they were coming from, there were some WWE rosters that were there as well going to Raw. So basically, they were all on the same plane. He did spoke with some people in the plane, and somehow he's just, I don't know, if somebody invited him or he just said, screw it, I'm gonna go to All-Stars Arena and let's see if they let me in. He went in. Apparently the first thing, there's a lot of rumors going around, but everything is true. It's just the orders. There were some people that were saying that Punk went backstage, started looking for the Miz, and
Oh,
there was people that when Punk went in, he started saying hi to everybody, and people were coming up to him asking, "What are you doing? Nice to see you." Blah blah blah. Eventually, he saw the Miz and started talking to him about burying the hatchet and stuff like that. Uh,
yeah.
Everybody assumes that just because everybody they hugged it out when they went their separate ways.
Yeah.
I am gonna be honest, did not knew the Miz and Punk had heat with each other.
I think it
That
was
was the
when
that was the first for me.
I think it was when the Miz or when CM Punk was, he was doing back and forth with MJF. he'll
Mm,
he'll make fun of the Miz, like, oh, you're
mm.
just a low budget Miz. So it's kind of like insulting the Miz, but like what I mean? It's kind of like insulting MJF, but it's,
I don't think I don't think because that was recently. I think
yeah,
they said that if it went back all the way to 2011.
probably remember when he got kicked out of the locker room, like the Miz. Probably
Oh
that's one.
no,
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 way before
that
that.
that way no way after
That
that.
that was after that. I don't know. It might
Yeah.
have just been like they just hated each other or something for some reason.
Yeah, it started in 2011. So that's when CM Punk was the top heel, but not the
Mm-hmm.
world champion. The Miz was the world champion, but
Mm,
he wasn't a top heel. Um because
I
he
get you.
Punk, I don't know, Punk did pinch a nerve with Punk because he's like, you guys are pushing me to be the top heel, but I'm not your world champion. The Miz is your world champion, and you're not even pushing him to be the top heel. You're
Yeah.
pushing The Rock and Cena together to build up for next year's WrestleMania. So he got kind of confused on that part, or well, yeah, confused and pretty upset. But it's still, regardless, I'm like, I never even knew they had heat with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? Remember when Punk came back and the Miz made a comment on Twitter, and I don't remember what he said, but Punk said, Um. Oh no, I don't think it was WWE AEW. I think when he came back, when he showed up for WWE backstage, the Miz made a comment to CM Punk, and CM Punk took it the wrong way, and he told him, "Why don't you just go overseas to make that blood money?"
Damn.
That's what he responded. So I think I think that's the only
Mm,
thing I could think of.
yeah.
Um, I don't even know. But after his talk with the Miz, he talked to Triple H, asked him if it was okay for him to be here. He said, I gotta talk to the big guy, meaning Vince McMahon. And then meanwhile, that was going on. Him and Triple H were talking, I guess, to bury the hatchet. And then they went their separate ways. Punk was talking to other rosters there, and then eventually the head security told him that he had to leave. Nothing. It wasn't like you got to get the hell out of here. You're not supposed to. No, it was just like, hey, sorry, man. He said you got to go, and Punk was like, oh, okay, cool, that's fine. You
Yeah,
know,
because then what do you think? Like, you think Tony Khan? Oh, that's contract interference.
no, because the Ricky Stark was at WrestleMania for Cody Rhodes.
Okay, because it's kind of weird that like with CM Punk like going being WWE, like he was talking all this stuff about WWE, like even like after he left WWE until like what before he left AEW, he was
Right.
talking all this stuff, and all of a sudden he shows up on Raw. He like
I
he just
think I think he just got to that point where he's like, I'm too old for this.
yeah, especially with especially like it just I'm like oh, yeah, like you say he's too old for this. Like I'm a grown man, should not be arguing about. I'm yes, they did me bogus, whatever, but like I'm not gonna be like don't be bitter about it, because that's
Right.
just it makes it worse. So you just become bitter, and then so for me it was crazy though. I'm like, wow, he's actually. But then Tony Khan will be like, oh well, I don't know if that's interfering with contract. Like we're not interfering. He came by himself, and we're being nice to him. We're not being you can't just be like screw you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, Tony Khan hasn't said anything clear. He doesn't care. It doesn't bother him.
yeah.
I mean, there has been times where some former WWE, Charlotte was in AEW's backstage a few years
Her
back.
husband, right? Her
Yeah,
husband is
so
not even wrestling. I
I
don't
don't,
know what.
yeah, I don't, so I don't think they care. It's just like, okay, it's just more on the TV screen,
Yeah.
you know. I feel, I feel like that's all it is. But yeah, CM Punk. Uh, we talked about it before on a different video, saying Punk may come back to AEW. There were talks about it. There, the plan that we may get to see is Punk teaming up with FTR versus the Elite.
Mm.
I don't care for that. I
No.
really don't. I really don't. I don't know why. I want to, but at the same time, it's just like I don't care for it.
Like you say, it wouldn't fill a stadium. Like, oh, like I think you said that. Like,
Apparently, oh, well, speaking about that, I'm glad you brought that up. Apparently, they sold 65, no, 60,000 pre-sale tickets.
I don't. What do you think? You say they sold tickets, or they just got
No,
like,
just pre-sale.
oh, okay.
I don't know how that works.
It's like you make a pledge to sign up. You're
Mm,
not buying a ticket yet. I mean, that could be one guy making 1,000 emails like, "Hey, I pre," some guy could
no.
be,
Yeah,
somebody could be like,
to resell them or something like that.
yeah, so it could be one guy buying like 10,000 tickets and like
Mm,
under different emails. There's those emails we could get for like 10 minutes.
right.
Some people do that, like they just pre-sell and then just sell the tickets,
Mm.
or they do a prank and like, oh yeah, never mind. It's really like 10,000. You never know. I mean,
But it is in the UK, you
yeah,
know.
UK is a
So
wrestling scene, yeah.
yeah. So I do believe it. I think that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like All Out, the event, can sell out. It's just the matches. It's just more like, oh, that's cool. But like to say the Elite versus CM Punk and FTR, and for them to say this is what's gonna sell out a stadium, it's like no,
No.
no. I like if it does, cool. Like that's awesome, great for you guys. I just don't personally like that's not a stadium match. I don't see how that's a stadium match, you know?
Yeah.
I really don't. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega, that's that's a stadium match. Would it
Yeah.
sell out? No. But that is like that's a stadium match, yes.
Yeah.
You know. I think it's the FTR. I just don't they're great wrestlers, don't get me wrong. I just don't see them. I personally don't think they're in the same level with the Young Bucks.
Right.
I don't think they're in the same level with the Usos. You know, I really don't.
So do you see winning championships as important as being like you said, like they have a 7-time champion, but like do you see that as important, or you see it more like, okay, cool, you've been a 7-time champion. They gave you a title 7 times. or
Out
like, how
of
do you see that?
out of
Uh,
those championships, you're talking about FTR, right?
Yeah, like how would you like when somebody says, "Oh, they're the greatest of all time" because they got 7 championships, but like, how do you compare that to like the Young Bucks, which actually, like, they have this unique move set and talent, but
Mm.
they don't have any as many championships. They're not. Oh, I'm not the
Pe-
7X or 8X champion. I'm like a 4X, 3X champion.
People say is a great tag team just because their match with DOY and the Briscoes.
Okay.
Can you honestly, out of those tag team championships they have won, can you honestly tell me which ones are like memorable besides the DUI?
Like the NXT one?
Yeah, that's the only one. I wasn't like a 2 out of 3 falls. Like that's
Yeah,
the only match where I'm like, yeah, that was great. That was a
yeah,
great match. That's a great FTR match. But then it's like, that's it.
yeah.
Like,
So you see
and
like
then
the
the
other belts are
Briscoes,
like they just gave
yeah,
it to them like here you
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Here you
basically,
become
yeah,
here's Ring of Honor, here's a AAA, AEW, like we just want you to win it
yeah,
so you can say you could win it.
yeah. How they're being treated in WWE, that's how they're being treated now. They
Yeah.
have their moments where it's like, oh, cool, they have some great matches, like recently with the Briscoes, R.I.P. to
Yeah.
Jay Briscoe. But that was like, but then besides that, when was the last time can you say like, damn, that was a great FTR match?
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm. It's like it's just because they're just like what do you think it is though? Like we're switching topics though. We should go back to CM Punk, but like we could just do that. We could table that for another day.
Yeah. Well, I just no, I mean the reason why we're talking about it because I just don't
Yeah.
see why. Is it because FTR who I forgot the guy's name, but the guy
Dax,
what is it
Harwood,
Dax? Yeah,
or
him. He's the guy.
Wheeler. I don't remember
No,
their
it's not
names.
Wheeler. I think it's probably Dax.
Okay.
He's the one who wants CM Punk back and all that, and he wants that match, and then Tony Khan wants that match, and it's just like, okay, well, what if Orange Cassidy would have said, "I want to team up with CM Punk to face the Elite"? Would Tony Khan would have booked the match too?
Yeah, he would.
Possibly, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, CM Punk may come back to what was the event?
All in,
No, the other one.
all out.
No, 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 no. The Collision, right? Is it
Collision,
Collision?
yeah. June
Collision.
17. Yeah.
So he may return for that. He may face Chris Jericho the same night.
Hmm.
That'd be cool. So they're trying to recreate something what they did at what WWE did uh payback back in 2013. Um Me personally, I think that's dumb. Because I was like, wouldn't you want to build that match and all out or all in?
Yeah.
That's just like that's just, like I feel like that would be better. Um, and that's what bothers me because it's like Chris Jericho versus CM Punk. That's not a stadium match for Tony Khan, but the Elite versus CM Punk versus FTR is. I
Yeah.
you're
I mean, CM Punk and Chris Jericho have more titles, more world titles combined than like those other five guys. S- it's crazy. Like no, like world titles. I think
yeah.
there's only like one title, 3 titles between them. I think.
Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole. That's a stadium match too.
Yeah,
Adam Cole versus CM Punk.
yeah.
So I don't know. But anyways, would you want to see CM Punk go back to AEW, or would you rather just be like, dude, go back to WWE?
I mean,
Me personally, I would like him to go back to WWE, get his moments, have a great matches. I would love to see him face Roman Reigns. Obviously, that's a big one. Seth freaking Rollins, Finn Balor, AJ Styles, uh, who
like
else?
like a tournament, like a retirement tour.
Kind of, just let me come back or something
I,
like with Edge. You know how
yeah.
Edge came back at the Royal Rumble, he faced Randy Orton. Ooh, I would like to see him face Randy Orton and John Cena.
Again,
Um,
again, forget that.
and then have him come back at the Rumble, and then a year later win the Royal Rumble and then main event WrestleMania. And he doesn't have to win the title. He could do something like what they did with Edge. He came back a year later. He wins the Rumble, faces Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, at
That's
this
what I
point,
would
like,
like.
yeah, yeah. But at this point, I'm like, I mean, it's just time to move on to some from these people, you know? Like, if I was CM Punk, I don't know. With AEW, it's kind of complicated because of like what happened.
Mhm.
Um, like, what do you have to prove there? You've been a champion twice, but it has been mediocre reigns at best. I think we talked about it last episode. You guys check it out, fantasy booking, or one of the last episodes or something. We mentioned that CM Punk's total combined reign as two-time AEW champion was what, like a month and a half max, I
About,
think, two
yeah.
max. So I don't know what
No,
does
it
he have to
wasn't
prove
two
there?
months. It was
No,
like it was less than a month.
but like combined, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
combined.
combined.
So I don't know. I mean, if he goes back to AEW, what's gonna change? Like it's still I don't know. Like for me, I feel he should personally do a tour of different companies. Like go to New Japan, go to Japan, go to Mexico,
Right.
do some independent shows and then do a couple of WWE match, do like the retirement tour and that's it. Just call it a day. Like oh I went to All Japan, New Japan, Big Japan. I went to AAA, CMML.
And
Like pretty
that's the
much what
thing. Why hasn't he gone to New Japan?
like yeah, like that's the same thing with my issue with Daniel Bryan or Brian Daniels or whatever. Like the reason he left WWE is to go to Japan and Mexico. But
Mhm.
what is he doing? He's like wrestling. I don't think is he wrestling right now? Is he injured? No, he's rest.
Mm,
He's in a
he's
hiatus or whatever.
no, no, he's
He
on
went heel or
TV.
something.
Yeah, he's heel now.
Like I'm surprised he hasn't been. Well, not CMML because they don't have a relationship with AEW. It'd be AAA has a relationship with AEW. But like it's kind of surprising, like he hasn't gone Japan, he hasn't done Mexico, he hasn't done Puerto Rico, like the UK and all that stuff. So I think CM Punk should probably like just do a tour of different companies around the world, do a WWE tour for a little bit, and then just retire. If he wants to go back to
So
AEW, that's fine, but do like one match and then just leave.
so CM Punk's total reign, we were way off. So it was over. It's about 2 months,
Okay,
over
so
2 months,
okay,
90
so
days,
wow, okay.
90
So
days.
3 months, so yeah.
I
But
don't,
still, 3 months is not good. For two reign, that's like pretty bad.
well, no, hold on. So I feel, oh, I see what happened. I don't even know. I find that hard to believe he was. So when he won the title at Double or Nothing, right?
Yeah, he got
Didn't he?
injured, but he was still champion, so he didn't vacate. They
Oh,
put an
so
interim champion.
yeah, he was still, even though, he was, what's it called? They were still counting his title reign
Yeah,
all the way to Forbidden Door to crown the new champion.
yeah. So that's
So,
why.
so yeah, so basically they should have stripped the championship as soon as he couldn't, like, he was done. But
Yeah,
they continue the title reign till Forbidden Door,
yeah.
and that's where there's like, okay, your reign ends here.
Mhm.
And
And he won it again, and then 2 weeks
no, that when
later,
he won, no, he never won it again, or until All Out. But then he
yeah.
was only champion for like 2 days until Tony. But yeah, so CM Punk, I don't know why Tony Khan continued that long title reign. He should have, as soon as he vacated the title, it should have just ended. But he continued his title reign all the way to Forbidden Door, where
Mhm.
John Moxley won the world title. Personally, besides, before we move on to the next topic, CM Punk, AEW All In. Who do you think deserves to main event that pay per view?
Oh man.
A lot.
Um, I mean, I don't really watch AEW, but would I follow? I would say MJF, and I would. See, I don't even know who would be his like opponent. I don't watch it like
No,
that. Like I
okay,
watch
well,
highlights here and there,
so
but
but besides the match, you're saying MGF should main event All
yeah,
In.
yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't know
Me,
like who would he face.
well, I would say John Mox. I still say John Moxley, but because MJF and took the belt off, what's his name, John Moxley. No. If John Moxley would have taken the belt off, won the belt from somebody else, then I would say John Moxley. I feel like John Moxley deserves the main event. Same with MGF. Um, the other, I would say the Elite, but once again, who is the other team? You will have to build a dream team for the
Mm.
elite to face. CM Punk is one of them. FTR is not that. Hell, oh my gosh, bro, CM Punk and the Hardy Boys. Woo!
Ooh.
We
Well, Jeff Hardy's back, so that
yeah.
makes sense. It
Jeff
works.
and then Jeff, and you know the history with Jeff Hardy and CM Punk,
Yeah.
the inside and the outside of the ring. So having those CM Punk versus the Hardy Boys to face the Elite at All In, that's that right there. That's
Wow.
way. But you see how I'm reacting to this? Just like even though it ain't gonna happen, like
Yeah.
that's more exciting to me than FTR.
Yeah. So you
But
you're saying that 100% CM Punk's coming back to AEW, pretty much. Or you that's people say that he's gonna come back. Well, he's still on the contract technically,
yeah,
right?
he's still under contract, so it's he is gonna come back. It's just the when,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
mean, yeah, that'd be a good. I mean, that could be a good match. You got the
Right.
Young Bucks, which are one of the best tag teams ever, arguably.
Mhm.
But the Hardy Boys are definitely one of the best tag teams ever,
Of all time.
without
Yeah.
argument. That's like
Yeah.
number one or two, three, top three or four. Young Bucks are probably top seven, eight, right? Nine.
I would
Depends
put
on
yeah,
depends
I
on
mean
like
they're
era.
in yeah, it really depends because there's days where I have to say there has been times where I gotta say the Usos are number one. There has been times where I say the Motor Cities are number one. It really depends. Sometimes I even say the Young Bucks are number one. It really depends on who's having their moments,
Yeah,
you know. And it really depends, to be honest.
yeah.
But for me, I can't really say the Young Bucks because I haven't seen. I mean, the matches I have seen, it's always been a 6-man tag. So I never. It's been a while since I saw them wrestle in a tag team match.
Yeah, last time I saw wrestle tag team match, they super kicked the kid in the face. They super
Yeah,
kicked a woman. They super kicked some random fan or whatever.
Super Kid partied.
Yep.
Woo wee. Oh, but anyways, uh, oh, what I wanted to say, CM Punk versus Jay White. I also want to see that.
That'll be
That's a
nice.
stadium match. Yeah.
Yeah.